Hi, it's me, Mrs. Jenkins. I'm here on my nice comfy couch and I'm ready for story time. Find a comfortable place in your house where you can curl up and let's get ready for a really good book. When last we were reading Beezus and Ramona, Beezus wanted to get Ramona out of the house. And so they went to the public library. But Ramona doesn't know how to be quiet in the library. Let's pick up where we left off. Beezus took her book and Ramona's to Miss Griever's desk. "Is this where you pay for the books?" asked Ramona. "We don't have to pay for the books," said Beezus. "Are you going to charge them?" Ramona asked. Beezus pulled her library card out of her sweater pocket. "I show this card to the lady, and she lets us keep the books for 2 weeks. A library isn't like a store where you buy things." Ramona looked as if she did not understand. "I want a card," she said. "You have to be able to write your own name before you can have a library card," Beezus explained. "I can write my name," said Ramona. "Oh, Ramona," said Beezus, "you can't either." "Perhaps she really does know how to write her name," said Miss Griever, and she took a card out of her desk. Beezus watched doubtfully while Miss Griever asked Ramona her name and age. Then the librarian asked Ramona what her father's occupation was. When Ramona didn't understand, she asked, "What kind of work does your father do?" "He mows the lawn," said Ramona promptly. The librarian laughed. "I mean, how does he earn his living?" Somehow Beezus did not like to have Miss Griever laugh at her little sister. After all, how could Ramona be expected to know what father did? "He works for Pacific Gas and Electric Company," Beezus told the librarian. Miss Griever wrote this down on the card and shoved it across the desk to Ramona. "Write your name on this line," she directed. Nothing daunted, Ramona grasped the pencil in her fist and began to write. She bore down so hard that the tip snapped off the lead, but she wrote on. When she laid down the pencil, Beezus picked up the card to see what she had written. The line on the card was filled with, "That's my name," said Ramona. "That's just scribbling," Beezus told her. "It is too my name," insisted Ramona, while Miss Griever quietly dropped the card into the wastebasket. "I've watched you write and I know how." "Here, Ramona, you can hold my card." Beezus tried to be comforting. "You can pretend it's yours." Ramona brightened at this, and Miss Griever checked out the books on Beezus's card. As soon as they got home, Ramona demanded, "Read my new book to me." And so Beezus began. "Big Steve was a steam shovel. He was the biggest steam shovel in the whole city." When she finished the book, she had to admit she liked Big Steve better than Scoopy. His only sound effects were tooting and growling. He tooted and growled in big letters on every page. Big Steve did not shed tears or want to be a pile driver. He worked hard at being a steam shovel. And by the end of the book, Beezus had learned a lot about steam shovels. Unfortunately, she did not want to learn about steam shovels. Oh well, she guessed she could stand 2 weeks of Big Steve. "We did again," said Ramona enthusiastically. "I like Big Steve. He's better than Scoopy." "How would you like me to show you how to really write your name?" Jesus asked, hoping to divert Ramona from steam shovels. Okay, agreed Ramona. Jesus found pencil and paper and wrote Ramona in large, careful letters across the top of the paper. Ramona studied it critically. I don't like it, she said at last. But that's the way your name is spelled, Beezus explained. You didn't make dots and lines, said Ramona. Seizing the pencil, she wrote, But, Ramona, you don't understand. Beezus took the pencil and wrote her own name on the paper. You've seen me write Beatrice, which has an I and a T in it. See? Like that. You don't have an I or a T in your name because it isn't spelled that way. Ramona looked skeptical. She grabbed the pencil again and wrote with a flourish, That's my name because I like it, she announced. I like to make dots and lines. Lying flat on her stomach on the floor, she proceeded to fill the paper with I's and T's. But, Ramona, nobody's name is spelled with just... Jesus stopped. What was the use? Trying to explain spelling and writing to Ramona was too complicated. Everything became difficult when Ramona was around, even an easy thing like taking a book out of the library. Well, if Ramona was happy thinking her name was spelled with I's and T's, she could go ahead and think it. The next 2 weeks were fairly peaceful. Mother and father soon tired of tooting and growling, and, like Beezus, they looked forward to the day Big Steve was due at the library. Father even tried to hide the books behind the radio, but Ramona soon found it. Beezus was happy that one part of her plan had worked. Ramona had forgotten the litless steam shovel, now that she had a better book. On Ramona's second trip to the library, perhaps Miss Evans could find a book that would make her forget steam shovels entirely. As for Ramona, she was perfectly happy. She had 3 people to read aloud a book she liked, and she spent much of her time covering sheets of paper with I's and T's. Sometimes she wrote in pencil, sometimes she wrote in crayon, and once she wrote in ink until her mother caught her at it. Finally, to the relief of the rest of the family, the day came when Big Steve had to be returned. Come on, Ramona, said Beezus. It's time to go to the library for another book. I have a book, said Ramona, who was lying on her stomach, writing her version of her name on a piece of paper with purple crayon. No, it belongs to the library, Beezus explained, glad that for once Ramona couldn't possibly get her own way. It's my book, said Ramona, crossing several T's with a flourish. Beezus is right, dear, observed Mother. Run along and get Big Steve. Ramona looked sulky, but she went into the bedroom. In a few minutes, she appeared with Big Steve in her hand and a satisfied expression on her face. It's my book, she announced. I wrote my name in it. Mother looked alarmed. What do you mean, Ramona? Let me see. She took the book and opened it. Every page in the book was covered with enormous purple I's and T's in Ramona's very best handwriting. Oh, Mother, cried Beezus. Look what she's done. And in crayon, so it won't erase. Ramona Quimby, said Mother, you're a very naughty girl. Why did you do a thing like that? It's my book, said Ramona stubbornly. I like it. Mother, what am I going to do? Beezus demanded. It's checked out on my card and I'm responsible. They won't let me take any more books out of the library and I won't have anything to read. And it will all be Ramona's fault. She's always spoiling my fun and it isn't fair. Beezus didn't know what she would do without her library card. She couldn't get along without library books. She just couldn't. That was all. Well, boys and girls, that's all we have time for today, but I'll see you tomorrow at Storytime.